I'm sure you're familiar with a low carb eating style, right? This type of eating style has been criticized over the years for being unhealthy. There's people who say that there's not enough scientific evidence, AKA published scientific studies, to prove that it's effective for sustainable weight loss and really improving overall health, and that it might be doing more harm than good. I've been eating this way and studying a low carb eating style for over 13 years now. And to be honest, the evidence that comes up that I've come up with is that it works. More importantly, there is a healthy way to make it work for you. Today, I'm going to share the health benefits of a low carb eating style if you're in your 40s and how to take this eating style from frenemy to bestie to make it sustainable for you. Before we dive into the benefits of eating low carb, let's first talk about how your body processes the calories you consume. When you drink alcohol, your body sees it as a toxin and it actually has no ability to store it. So it burns this first. Next, your body will burn any calories from carbs to use as energy. Any leftovers will be stored either in your liver or muscles. Now, when your liver and muscles reach their carb storage limit, the remaining carbs are stored as fat. If your body still needs energy after this, it will begin burning fat from calories you've eaten or fat stored on your body. If your body doesn't need any more energy, where do you think the excess fat will go? That's right, you guessed it, it will be stored as fat. So now let's dive into the benefits of a low carb eating style now that you have an understanding of how your body works. One of the most common objections to a low carb eating style I hear is that your body needs carbs to function, specifically your brain, and for medium to high intensity exercise. Now, this is actually true to some extent. If you're eating here's one caveat though. If you're eating too many carbs in the form of highly processed, starchy foods such as whole wheat bread, bagels, chips, baked goods, etc., your brain becomes overwhelmed with too much glucose. And this is when neurological disorders can occur, such as Alzheimer's. So, giving your brain the right amount of carbs in the form of whole food veggies and fruits will actually suffice the requirements for optimal brain function. Now, if you're following a keto eating style, eating less than about 50 grams of carbs a day, your body will actually make ketones and use these for energy for your brain. And there are studies that show that your brain actually prefers running on these ketones. So, your body also makes glucose from protein you eat or from your muscles. So, I like to consider this the break in case of an emergency glass case in your body. In the event you need just a little extra glucose boost, for example, if you're doing a super high intensity workout, your body will know, oh, okay, we need some more carbs to make this workout efficient and for it to give you energy. So we're going to go to work and we're going to break down. We're going to make some carbs. So as you enter your 40s, your estradiol, which is the prominent form of estrogen in your reproductive years, begins to fluctuate dramatically before it finally drops, and a weaker form of estrogen, estrone, takes over in menopause. So estrogen increases your body's ability to process carbs efficiently so you don't experience the dramatic ups and downs of your blood sugar levels rising and falling too fast. When your estrogen levels begin falling and become unpredictable, your body tends to store more fat. In addition, you may not sleep well. If you have too much glucose in your blood, you know, in your bloodstream at night. When you're not sleeping well, your hunger and satiating hormones can get totally out of whack, and then you may eat more, which in turn can make you store more fat. Now, I know this may sound like a vicious cycle, but it's actually your body's way of keeping you alive with maybe the not so great resources it has to work with. This is actually survival mode for your body. So, giving your body healthier options such as meat, veggies, fruits and nuts, for example, to use as resources to keep you at a healthy weight, sleeping great, and moving efficiently is a key component to helping you thrive. So, how do you sustain a low carb eating style? So, this is actually a pretty simple process that is not always easy. Okay. Something can be very simple, but not always easy to maintain, right? So, the key to success is just starting super small, whatever that looks like for you. For example, when I started eating low carb in 2012, I actually just slowly started replacing the highly processed foods until I eventually eliminated most of them, most of them from most of my meals. For example, I replaced my lunchtime sandwich with a nutrient dense salad filled with mixed greens, olives, tomatoes, onions, protein in the form of meat, avocado topped with olive oil and apple cider vinegar and kind of whatever I had on hand and whatever I was feeling like at the time. I did continue to eat toast with my eggs in the morning until I felt ready to kind of shift my focus to a protein and fat centered breakfast. And I got to the point where I didn't even want the bread anymore with my breakfast. So, after several weeks, I was eating at least 90% meat, eggs, veggies, fruits, and nuts. Now, I would occasionally eat pasta and baked goods, but not that often. And I still do to this day. I don't have not completely eliminated breads and pastas and baked goods out of my eating style. I just don't eat them as often. So, when you slowly introduce more whole foods to your eating style, your body kind of naturally adjusts to not needing as many carbs. Your hormone levels get to where you're not craving the ultra processed food and you actually don't get hangry when you're hungry, which means you can go with hours feeling hungry while still maintaining energy levels. So, this is your body thriving on the whole nutrient dense foods that you're giving it. So, once you begin eating low carb, you may notice that you need more carbs during the second half of your cycle. And this is actually to be expected because of your lower progesterone levels. During these weeks, eat more carbs, such as potatoes and fruit, to help your progesterone levels increase. And if you're working out more at the beginning of your cycle because you just have more energy, which is a natural occurrence based on your hormone levels, you may benefit from eating more starchy carbs. My point being that low carb for you can be different than low carb for me. It's all relative based on your individual needs. And it's important to be willing to experiment with different whole foods to figure out what works best for you. All right, so there's so much more I can share on this topic, but I'll leave the rest of it for another day. The bottom line is low carb eating style can help you maintain a healthy weight, sleep great, and have consistent energy levels throughout the day. So, if you want to learn more about how you can get started, I invite you to book your free wellness strategy session with me, and I'll help you find the best starting point for you.